RAUSCH Games! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, hello, hello. We are coming to you live from New Orleans, Louisiana, the New Orleans Arena, home of the New Orleans Pelicans of the NBA. We're starting off Smackdown on the second Friday of April 2014. We've got a triple threat match. But first, we've got to announce a recent signing here. We actually had a wave of signings in WWE after Superstars went off the air earlier this week. For the Smackdown brand, 3 former WCW and WWE wrestlers signed together and announced that they were reforming the NWO. One of them in the ring in this triple threat match here, that's Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner, also Six or X-Pac as we would remember him, and Curt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. They are all involved here. We've got this triple threat leading off SmackDown between R-Truth, Scott Steiner, and Razor Ramon. We remember last week we saw R-Truth make his debut against Stone Cold Steve Austin in a nice match to open up SmackDown. Truth looking for a bit better luck this time around, and taking on the combined effort of Steiner and Razor Ramon here. He's not going to have too much luck, I don't think. But either way, we're starting off SmackDown tonight. We've got a nice big card for you this evening. We have a tag match coming up after this. We have the Primetime Players taking on the Real Americans, Antonio Cesaro and Jack Swagger, who recently got a big win over CM Punk on Superstars this week, if you remember correctly. We will also have 3 one-fall matches after that. Edge taking on Kofi Kingston, but Edge announced being managed by his new girlfriend, Caitlyn, in that match. Steiner with a huge throw of R-Truth there. And there's Razor running at him, but he's got a tilt-a-whirl slam. He's not having any part of that. Steiner, the only one up now. And then our final 3 matches of the evening, our final 2 matches, we're going to have Andre the Giant taking on Alberto Del Rio in a singles match, and we're going to finish the show with Ted Dibiase against Goldberg in yet another one-on-one match. No special stipulations this week. Oh, here's the single leg Boston Crab, but Razor Ramon is in to break it up. This is a triple threat match, remember. To my knowledge, there are no disqualifications, but it is not elimination format, so only one person will win when a fall is accomplished, and that's why Razor is trying to break up these submission holds from Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner. The signing of the NWO was a bit of a surprise. They had been announced as free agents a few weeks back, and they had just been kind of sitting by idly, and Vince McMahon actually signed a lot of talent over this past week. We saw the NWO coming to SmackDown. We also saw Big E Langston and both Brie and Nikki Bella being signed to the Raw brand. And on NXT, Fandango and his valet, Summer Rae, have been signed as well. So we still have a lot of talent just dying on the indie roster right now. But Vince McMahon goes over their head to bring these people aboard and pump up his own rosters. Just as Big Papa Pump pumping up Razor Ramon right there with a nice pure strength slam there. And Razor reversing into a side headlock here. And we've got a double team STO and Russian leg sweep. And there's a leg drop from R-Truth across the chest of Scott Steiner. And now Razor going for the pinfall, but R-Truth is obviously going to break that up. Steiner working from behind on Hall now. Razor. Identity means nothing in this universe mode, ladies and gentlemen. And working from behind once more, we've now got a double team on Razor Ramon. Double vertical suplex, and he's slammed down. Steiner and R-Truth are up, and now Steiner going after Truth, but Truth with an elbow into a jawbreaker. And now Razor punching Truth from behind. He's got Steiner on the ground now, choking him out. And Steiner works his way out. Truth with a... Woohoo! One of his little fun offensive maneuvers. And if you will pardon my random cracks in voice, this announcer is still very much on the sick side of the equation. But I just cannot keep myself away. And there's a big belly-to-back suplex, Olympic style, from Big Papa Pump. He's going to go for his own pin here. We've got just a 1 count before Razor Ramon breaks it up. All 3 men are very much still on their feet. We are quite a distance from any kind of decisive fall in this contest. Oh, but there's a big running clothesline from Scott Steiner to R-Truth. And now, pump it up into an elbow drop across the chest is Scott Steiner. Oh, and he's got R-Truth locked into it. Both arms held back, but Razor Ramon is there to break it up. And this match is continuing into its chaotic opening here. 18,000 plus fans in the New Orleans Arena. What a heck of a way to kick off Smackdown this week. Some ring legends and R-Truth. Not to take anything away from R-Truth, but yeah. And now R-Truth working from behind. We've got a double team, double neck breaker onto Scott Steiner. Truth and Ramon can go pretty far if they keep double teaming Big Papa Pump here. He is the big guy in the match. If you leave him by himself, oh no, we've got a Razor's Edge. Razor has Papa Pump up onto his shoulders, throws him down onto his back and neck across the ring. R-Truth is in to steal the pin, but Razor breaks it up, and because of that, Pump is immediately back on his feet. We have another double team here. This is going to be a double choke slam from R-Truth and Razor Ramon. Not their typical forte there. And R-Truth going for a pin there. But Big Papa Pump is back on his feet. Despite it, he is no-selling everything. And he's going to slide out of the ring now, leaving Razor Ramon and R-Truth inside. And wait, Steiner getting a chair, heading back in. Meanwhile, Razor with a gorilla press. Oh, and Steiner with the chair shot to the back of Razor Ramon. And now he's got him in a full Nelson suplex onto the chair. He's going for a pinfall, ladies and gentlemen. But R-Truth is there to immediately break it up. He almost had the match won. R-Truth is breaking everything up now, though. And they're just all duking it out in the corner. Big brawl. There's a Russian leg sweep from Steiner to Razor Ramon. And a big-time back suplex to R-Truth there. And now Steiner working on Razor Ramon as he brings him to his feet, twisting the arm around. He's got an armbar locked in, but R-Truth is there to break it up. Steiner is working on those submission holds. There's a nice snapmare from him. And he stomps on the gut of R-Truth. And then coming off the ropes, another nice rolling clothesline there from him. And he's got Razor Ramon in his grasp again. This is a big-time back suplex. Now all of a sudden, this is Scott Steiner's match to lose. And he's got Truth locked up. There's the big-time screwdriver from Big Papa Pump. And now he's got Razor down with a big back suplex. He's going to roll him over onto his back. And he's going for the submission again, but he's wasting too much time. R-Truth is up. He's got it locked in, and he would have had the match won there. But R-Truth breaks up the hold. Oh, and now R-Truth could win it on an abdominal stretch here, but Razor Ramon comes in just in the nick of the time. It did look like Scott Steiner was about to tap there, and Razor chose to leave the ring. And there's a chair shot to break up a submission, and a chair shot right to the face of both competitors here. Unbelievable. And now Steiner with a kick to the groin of R-Truth, but R-Truth reverses out of another attempt there. And now Steiner working from behind Razor. Razor reversing out into a belly-to-belly side slam, throwing him down to the mat. And Steiner works out of the ring one more time. Truth is following now. Steiner working around on the arm of R-Truth, twisting around again. And there's an elbow to the back of the head. And this is going to go into a big belly-to-belly toss suplex there. R-Truth thrown to the floor of the arena. And now Razor Ramon is going to roll Scott Steiner back into the ring as Truth is down on the outside. Razor is signaling for Steiner to get up. We could see another Razor's Edge here, ladies and gentlemen. R-Truth is going to stand by. He may try to steal another pin. This is going to be it. Another Razor's Edge. Steiner is up in the air, and he's down on his back and his neck and his shoulders. There's another Razor's Edge. Ramon now dragging him to the center of the ring. Goes for the pin. R-Truth running around. Gets the elbow drop to break up the pinfall. And now Steiner is up on his feet, and he's got a back suplex to R-Truth. And he rolls Razor Ramon over with Truth down. He's got him locked in. He's got his signature submission hold one more time in the corner of the ropes. No way to get out. No way to get out. Oh! R-Truth tries and finally breaks it up. It looked like Razor Ramon was beginning to fight his way out there too, finding some inner strength. And now Scott Steiner, that's going to be a vertical suplex, stalling just a bit in the air, showing off his strength, and Razor Ramon is down. Now Steiner is up and working on the arm of R-Truth. Big time toss suplex there. And Steiner is going to be all kinds of fired up, the last man standing, but he doesn't see Razor Ramon sneaking up on him from the side. Razor is going to whip him into the corner and roll after him with a clothesline, and R-Truth tried to follow it up with a kick, but he cannot. And now Steiner is once again outside. Going under the ring, he comes up with a sledgehammer. And Razor Ramon is trying to lock in R-Truth. Steiner trying to hit them both with a sledgehammer. He keeps on missing. There's one to the gut of Razor Ramon and one to the back of R-Truth. And now Steiner going to go for a pin here on Razor. We're going to have 1, 2, just a 2 count. And Razor actually kicks out. R-Truth couldn't quite get there in enough time. And a twisting slam there from Scott Steiner. And now Steiner to Razor. We're going to see another screwdriver here. That's got to be it. Yep, he's got him up against his body. There's the screwdriver right down to the mat. Oh, and there's a pinfall from Steiner. 1 steals it away from R-Truth. Not quite going to work there. And now Steiner with a big-time suplex to R-Truth. And he brings his attention back over to Razor Ramon. Systematic here. And he's got him locked up. It looks like it's a suplex clutch. And it is, and it's back down onto the handle of the sledgehammer, ladies and gentlemen. And he clubs the shoulder of R-Truth there, working the arm one more time. And a big suplex there. And Steiner back up, working on Razor Ramon now. Takes him by the chin. Big time chop across the chest. And he's got his submission locked in. Oh, but it's broken up one more time. And now Steiner working from behind. Nope. All hell has broken loose in this match. And R-Truth, oh, Scott Steiner pushes him into the ropes for a rope break. Pardon the lack of speech there for a second. My computer here at the announcer's table went to its idle stage, which is weird because it's plugged into a power source, but okay. Thought I had that disabled. And now Razor Ramon, belly-to-belly side slam, very close to that sledgehammer. And now we're getting a choke out onto Scott Steiner. I can't believe that still nobody has won this match. Quite an opener here on Smackdown. The crowd is really getting into it. We've seen finishers back and forth. And now Steiner onto R-Truth. We've got another vertical suplex. And now Steiner up, and he's going to deal with Razor Ramon working on the head here. He works him around, club to the neck. And he's going right into a pinfall off of that. But R-Truth is there to break it up. They just can't keep each other down long enough. But there's a big runaround German suplex from Steiner to R-Truth. And now Steiner, he's going to have Razor Ramon up suplex. No, this is going to be another screwdriver right down onto his head on the mat. R-Truth is down. He's going for a pin of Razor. 1, but Truth breaks it up with another diving elbow. And there's another belly-to-belly toss suplex. And another one for Scott, for Razor Ramon there. And he's going to roll him onto his back. And we're going to have a submission one more time. But R-Truth, again, is up in just the nick of time. They will not stay down. And there's a kick to the side of the head of Steiner, breaking up the hold. This match is just going and going and going. Nobody wants to lose. Steiner here, brand new to SmackDown, wants to win one for his NWO clan. R-Truth wants to win one in general after his performance against Stone Cold last week here on SmackDown. And Razor, in his debut televised match here in this year's universe, wants to win one for just the bad guy. And now Steiner is the only guy in the ring, and he's fired up about it yet again. Oh, but R-Truth rolls him into the cradle. Rolls him into the cradle. Razor's not up. Oh, but Scott Steiner does kick out. And now he's got Razor in a suplex clutch, and he's got him up against his body, and another screwdriver onto the handle of the sledgehammer. R-Truth is dead. 1, just a 1 count. Razor Ramon is there to break up the hold, but Steiner's got that sledgehammer in his hands again. And he's just working it into the legs of his opponents here. There's one to Scott. There's one to R-Truth. Throws it at Razor. Gonna go for the pin here. 1, 2, 3. Was that it? That was a 3 count. Scott Steiner wins after he goes for the weapon. The NWO is here on SmackDown, and they are not afraid to make things bloody. The only way to win that match was to use a weapon. And there's that unbelievable double choke slam. I almost forgot that even happened in this matchup. Crazy back and forth. Everyone hit finishers and signatures. Went to the outside. I can't believe this was the opening match of SmackDown here this evening. But it was, and we've got plenty more coming right up. We're going to roll right into that tag match after we come back from our commercial break here, so we get through these little bit of highlights. There's the cradle that R-Truth tried to hit, couldn't quite get it. And then there is that pinfall right next to the sledgehammer, the symbolic sledgehammer of Scott Steiner's triumphant victory here in his debut match. And for us SmackDown fans that are worried about the $1 million corporation taking things over, let's get used to the fact that now the NWO is here as well. We will be right back. And here we are for match number 2 of the evening from the New Orleans Arena in New Orleans, Louisiana. As if a nearly 20-minute long triple threat match was not enough excitement and action and fun for you to start the show. We now have a tag team match between the primetime players Darren Young and Titus O'Neil and the Real Americans Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro. 75% of these men have not had a televised match yet here this year, so this will be fun for them. And the one that has been on TV so far, well, he's lost both of his matches over on Raw. That's Antonio Cesaro, and he's definitely looking for a win here, so he's turning to his partner Jack Swagger to help him out a little bit. Swagger coming off a really nice yet untelevised win over CM Punk on Superstars this week. And both Darren Young and Titus O'Neil, not a whole lot going on so far this year. They're kind of hoping to break into the tag team scene here. And while the Shield are defending their belts, presumably against the $1 Million Corporation at Extreme Rules, nice toss from Darren Young there, running over for a tag to Titus, but he can't get it. So Jack Swagger with a running German suplex broken up by Titus from the outside. Even though the tag team title seems to be set for Extreme Rules, again, no official word yet, but we will keep you posted on any happenings there. These teams still want to remain in pursuit, especially with the signing of the NWO as essentially a stable to the SmackDown brand. We now have one more tag team that competes for these belts, so everybody wants to come out on top. We have Titus O'Neil now in the match, working over Jack Swagger here. Reversing into a neck breaker. Nice way to work around there. And now he is pounding into the face of Jack Swagger on the mat. Swagger should probably be looking to tag in Cesaro at some point here. It looks like the Real Americans are definitely taking control here. Swagger stumbling to his feet. O'Neil remaining in control, but Swagger dodges a kick there. And we've got another collar and elbow tie-up. Two very strong stars. And Titus comes out on top. And he's going to go into a body slam of Jack Swagger. Titus O'Neil, all strength, former football player, and now Swagger working from behind, and we're going to have an Irish whip into the corner. We could see a tag coming up here, and we do. Antonio Cesaro, now the legal man for the Real Americans. This looks like a double team, whipping Cesaro with a clothesline into Titus O'Neil. Innovative from the Real Americans there, and now Cesaro and Titus O'Neil working in the ring. He's got both arms locked, headbutt into a huge belly-to-belly toss suplex, and now the raw strength of Antonio Cesaro is in this match big time, and momentum could be swinging in favor of the Real Americans. There's a body slam from Cesaro to Titus, and a double stomp of the gut, and now he's got Titus up, and he's got a series of punches, but O'Neil blocks out and works on the arm. Now Titus working around, club across the throat and chest of Antonio Cesaro, working side headlock, and we've got a whip heading into the corner of the primetime players. And there's a tag, Darren Young, your legal man now, but there's no way we're not going to see a double team. And there is a double axe handle to the arm of Antonio Cesaro as helped by Titus O'Neil. Cesaro trying to work from behind, but Young reversing into a snapmare and now working on stomps and punches to the back. But Cesaro reverses with an elbow. Now he's on the arm of Darren Young. And we've got a body slam that we couldn't quite see because Titus was right in front of the cameraman. We've got a surfboard stretch being applied from Cesaro to Darren Young now. But he loses his grip and the match will continue on without a tap out. Working from behind is Cesaro. Big time back suplex right onto the head of Darren Young. And another stomp there, this time to Darren Young. Young, though, reversing out with a punch to the gut. And we're going to see... Oh, it looked like it was a body slam, but now it's a single-arm DDT from Darren Young innovative escape there from the primetime player. And now Young rolls Cesaro over, but Cesaro up with a punch to the jaw. And running at Young, swinging behind, German suplex onto his head there. Fantastic from Antonio Cesaro. And now he's punching into the face of Darren Young on the mat there. And we're going to follow it up with a stomp for good measure. But now Young with a punch to the gut ends the sequence. And Darren Young running across the ring. Cesaro on fire here. And we're going to have a big-time suplex bomb there. I'm sorry, not the correct name of that move at all, but we're going to move on to the match. And we've got a German suplex from Antonio Cesaro to Titus O'Neil. Elbow to the small of the back. Antonio Cesaro is completely dominating this match right now. And another German suplex to Titus O'Neil. And Antonio Cesaro signaling to the crowd. But there's Titus O'Neil getting up with a huge running shoulder tackle, firing up Darren Young over in the corner while Cesaro distracted himself. There's a rake to the eyes of Titus O'Neil, and O'Neil gets out of the hold with a kick to the back of the leg of Antonio Cesaro, and we've got a twisting back suplex. Antonio Cesaro down to the mat with a lot of force right on his back. Titus rolls him over. They're near the ropes, but there is a submission hold locked in. And Swagger makes his way into the ring and does actually break it up. Was not sure if he was going to get there in time. And there's a club that takes both Young and Cesaro. But Young seems to be okay now. And O'Neil going for a pin here. Got two, and Cesaro kicks out. Almost ended the match there. Everybody seemed late. And there's another big-time driver from Cesaro to Titus O'Neil. And he's looking for his partner, but Swagger's not on the apron yet. And Cesaro runs right into a clothesline as he tries to get out of the way. Titus O'Neil going for another submission here. He's got the arm locked behind, the head wrenched up, but Swagger is again there to break it up. And now Cesaro is losing momentum fast in this match. He's got to think of something to get himself out of this. And O'Neil whipping Cesaro into the ropes. Cesaro reverses on the roll around into a cradle. But Titus O'Neil gets out, and we're going to have another German suplex from Antonio Cesaro to Titus O'Neil. And now Cesaro throwing O'Neil into the corner of the Real Americans, and he tags in Jack Swagger. Cesaro has him up for a suplex clutch. Swagger grabbing the legs and slamming him down. Titus O'Neil is out. We've got 1, 2... Oh, just a 2 count, though, and Darren Young does indeed break it up. That was almost the end of the match there. Good double-team offense from the Real Americans. Swagger throwing Titus O'Neil over. O'Neil up with a punch to the chest, and now O'Neil running into the corner to tag in Darren Young. Swagger is ready for it, runs at him. Huge clothesline from Jack Swagger to Darren Young, and he knocks Titus O'Neil off the apron. Unbelievable from Jack Swagger, in complete control of the match. And that's going to be a belly-to-belly side slam from the Real American, from Jack Swagger. We the people and whatnot. Now working from behind, Darren Young reverses out into his own belly-to-belly side slam of Jack Swagger. Impressive strength from the significantly smaller Darren Young. Young now going outside. Cesaro off the ring apron. And he whips Darren Young through the steel steps. Jack Swagger on the apron, now getting off to take on Darren Young. Just getting up from the step assault, and Swagger with a huge slam on the outside. And there's a leg drop across the chest of Darren Young and a stomp to the face. Darren Young not feeling so hot after being whipped through the steps there. Oh, wait, and Jack Swagger grabs the referee for a twisting back suplex of his own. The ref is down. We've got a German suplex from Swagger. And the ref just warns Jack Swagger not to hit him like that again. Should be a disqualification, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, but there is a huge spinebuster from Titus O'Neil. We know that move well. We've got a pin here. 1, 2 count, and Swagger kicks out or Cesaro breaks it up. One way or the other, the match is going to continue on here. And Titus O'Neil with a big belly-to-back suplex there. All strength. And now punching the face of Jack Swagger here. It looks like the primetime players are in control, but Swagger escapes from the ring. Darren Young immediately throws him right back in. And now Swagger is up. O'Neil was just standing in the ring watching the whole thing. Could have taken advantage, but now Swagger with a back suplex. And he's continuing to fire himself up like the gorilla that he apparently is. Oh, and there's the hot tag. Cesaro in the ring. And he knocks Titus O'Neil down. And he gets Darren Young off the apron. And the very European uppercut. And he's got a big boot to Darren Young on the apron. And Swagger is dazed for some reason. 1, 2, 3. 3. Just ring the bell. Darren Young almost gets in to break it up. But Cesaro off the hot tag. The kick to Darren Young. The apparent drunkenness and or concussion of Jack Swagger at the end there. And we get a 3 count off of the very European uppercut from Cesaro to Titus O'Neil. The Real Americans come away with a win in the tag division here. The Primetime Players lose their debut match. And Antonio Cesaro technically gets his first victory here in our universe mode. It's been kind of a long time coming. 2 tough weeks, 2 big singles losses. Gets a win with his partner Jack Swagger here, and they are very happy despite the crowd booing vociferously. We've got the Real Americans with a victory. Cesaro and Swagger in the ring, very proud of their accomplishment here as the Real Americans. And there's the handshake. There's the celebration. They did it for the country. They did it for Zeb. We, the people, are now going to move on through our next commercial break, guys. We will be right back. And welcome back here in Louisiana, ladies and gentlemen. Huge clothesline from Kofi to start this match. Our third match of the evening here on Friday Night Smackdown. We've got Kofi Kingston taking on Edge and his manager, Caitlyn, his brand new girlfriend, as of last Friday night. And it's a shame that we've chosen not to show you entrances here in this year's Universe mode, because it was pretty hilarious to watch Caitlyn get incinerated by Edge's opening pyrotechnics when she walked him out to the ring. That was fantastic. But either way, she's okay. Not a burn on her. She's a tough one. And what we know heading into this match, Edge and Kofi had a match last week on SmackDown. Edge won in a very impressive showing between both of them. I mean, neither man looked like the true victor from the outset. The fans loved it. They were cheering very loudly by the end. 2 of their favorites in the ring together. And after Edge's impressive victory, Caitlyn made her way down to the ring to escort him to the back, and it quickly became news on WWE.com that they had become a couple, that they were seen leaving the arena together throughout the week. They were shown going out to dinner together, and then this past week on Superstars, we saw a bit of conflict emerge in the backstage life of Edge as his longtime former, like several years ago, former girlfriend, Lita, confronted him about his involvement with Caitlyn, who is much younger than Edge, calling him a cradle-robbing creep. There is a submission lock applied very near the ropes, though, so Kofi immediately gets out of that. And it showed toward the end of Superstars, in another little scene from backstage, that the conflict was sort of in Edge's head. He seems happy with Caitlyn. They seem to be having a lot of fun together, but the appearance of Lita seems to have messed him up a little bit on Superstars. So we're going to see if it affects his performance here at all. And Kofi, well, he took the loss last week on SmackDown, but that wasn't the only time that we've seen him. Caitlyn up in the ring for no reason at all. The ref making sure she gets right back out. And a submission applied here. Kofi looking for the ropes one more time. But the last time we saw Kofi was actually on Raw this past week. After Antonio Cesaro lost his match to JBL, Kofi came in and attacked him after the bell, forcing JBL to attack both of them to prove who is the biggest bad guy in the company, apparently. Still sick. Many apologies. Kofi with a nice aerial maneuver there, but Edge back up, and there's a big-time back suplex. And if these two continue to have great matches like they do, I mean, this is going to be a fun month for everybody involved. But you just have to worry if and or when Lita's going to make an appearance, or Caitlyn's involvement with Edge is going to distract him from winning the matches at hand. Right now, another leg lock applied here. Kofi running for the ropes, can't quite get to them. Looks like Edge is doing okay for himself. He's going to let Kofi get up. And he's down slicking his hair back, ignoring the fact that Kofi is on his feet and twisting his arm around. Big time spinning heel kick from Kofi to Edge. Caitlyn watching intently on the outside. Kofi now behind Caitlyn, up on the apron. German suplex from Kofi to Edge, stomping on Edge while he's down. Edge up, though, so Caitlyn gets down. And a big float-over DDT from Edge. Edge seems to be in control here. And Edge across. Another big float-over DDT. And now Edge with a big-time DDT of his own. And he's on the ropes. He's signaling for Kofi to get up. Caitlyn is on the apron, off the apron. Oh, Kofi swipes down the spear attempt from Edge. But now Edge up again, and there's the spear that he wanted to get the first time. He's going to go for a pin now. 1, 2, 3. with Caitlin's distractions, with the spear from Edge, with blood apparently on the mat. I guess I missed somebody getting cut open there. Edge gets his second victory here in 2 weeks on SmackDown over Kofi Kingston. His girlfriend Caitlin offering a little bit of help, a little bit of referee distraction on the outside. Nothing overt, but just enough to keep Kofi staggered. That was a nice reversal from Kofi on the spear there, but he couldn't get away from the second one. Edge with the punch to the chest there, running at him. Big-time spear, knocking him out of his boots. And there was just no chance for Kofi after that. Edge gets a victory. He and his girlfriend get to leave happy one more time. There was the pinfall. And now in the ring, Edge offering a handshake to Kofi Kingston. But Kofi slaps it away. Not at all happy with what's going on between the two of them right now. And they were at least respectful of each other after last week's match, so apparently it's in Kofi's head. We'll be right back, guys. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, our fourth match of the evening. Andre the Giant, Alberto Del Rio, one fall, non-title, in what is quite possibly the most intense rivalry heading into Extreme Rules. Del Rio with an unbelievable belly-to-belly there on Andre the Giant. We saw a lot of that last week. Del Rio has been working on his strength. But what matters is that Andre the Giant still managed to beat the champion in a submission match, which seemed to have been the one match type between these two that actually favored the champion heading into Extreme Rules. Unbelievable tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. How could you just throw this man around like that? He is at least twice the size of Alberto Del Rio, and Alberto is just manhandling him in the early going in this match. But now Andre, the victim of a snapmare. Del Rio must be putting in insane amounts of time in the gym lately, heading into this rivalry, knowing what he's got to deal with at Extreme Rules, and their double knee to the arm there. Nice athletic maneuver on his downed opponent. Del Rio wants to avenge that match from last week, but if Ted Dibiase's big man here, Andre the Giant, has anything to say about it, he'll be getting another win here on SmackDown just momentarily. Wants to make it as quick as possible, but Del Rio is really in control in this match, and there's a sleeper hold takedown from the World Heavyweight Champion, Alberto Del Rio. But Andre out of it with a punch to the head, and now twisting him around, big-time club to the neck and the chest. Andre knows that he is favored heading into their matchup at Extreme Rules, and Alberto has to do everything he can to leave that pay-per-view with his title. And now we've got a kick and a chop from Andre, but Alberto reverses out and is working from behind. Andre now with his own big-time belly-to-belly, and that's a little bit less unbelievable. That's almost expected of Andre the Giant. Going for a grapple. There's a poke to the eyes from Alberto Del Rio. And Del Rio working from behind just picks him straight up. No assistance, no momentum, all strength from Alberto Del Rio. Picking up the 8th wonder of the world, Andre the Giant. Unbelievable. And Del Rio is in complete control after a big-time clothesline. He's taken over this match, now working on the arm of Andre the Giant, and again working on that arm, trying to take his strength out of it. But Andre raking the eyes with as much strength as you can imagine into an STO takedown, though, by Alberto Del Rio. Not an STO, a judo takedown. My apologies. And now Del Rio gets the Giant up, but the Giant with a big kick to the gut of Alberto Del Rio, who reverses into a snapmare. No matter what, Andre the Giant just cannot get in control of this matchup. And Del Rio going for a pin here. Just a 1 count, though, right before he kicks out. And Del Rio with a punch, lowering the head of the Giant for an armbar there. Got the arm wrenched around right in the center of the ring, but he lets go, choosing not to keep it locked. And there's a big push from Andre the Giant. And now he's going to have the legs locked up. He's got the Boston Crab locked in here on Alberto Del Rio. Remember, he won that submission match last week. He's got the submissions in his repertoire. But Del Rio reversing out again. He must have put in a lot of training this week heading into this matchup against Andre the Giant, as he did not look this good. No! Oh, I was going to say, if that was a powerbomb from Del Rio to Andre, unbelievable. But Andre reverses out, and now he's got the camel clutch applied. But we are near the ropes. I foresee Alberto, yes, working his way out of it indeed. But now Andre, big-time running elbow, seems to be back in some sort of control right before Del Rio reverses out into a huge enziguri, bringing the Giant down slowly. Now he's going to stomp on the arm again, working on those arms of Andre the Giant. Del Rio now lifts him up. Oh, but he's sent over the ropes by the Giant. who then elbows him off. No, Del Rio steps off right before the moment of impact. And now against the ropes, big time chop from Andre the Giant to Alberto Del Rio. The Giant is fired up. Oh, but wait. Alberto Del Rio uses that to work into his armbar. He's got the cross arm breaker locked in, and Andre the Giant miraculously works out of it. Not enough damage done to the arms of the Giant yet in this match. Del Rio, though, with a big-time back suplex immediately after we break the hold there. The Giant up on his feet, and we've got a collar and elbow now that certainly favors the big man, who is now working from behind on Alberto. Headbutt to the back of Alberto Del Rio. And now a kick to the gut. And he's got a double underhook locked in. Oh, but there's a big-time Samoan drop reversal from Alberto Del Rio, who now wraps the arm up and stomps on the elbow of Andre the Giant. He's going to work toward that cross-arm breaker again, and he's going to win the match that way, unless Andre the Giant wakes up and takes it back here. But he does block a punch. And now Del Rio is working the arm, twisting it around, and there's a big leg sweep from him. Del Rio now, big kick to the small of the back of Andre the Giant, but you have to wonder how much the big guy actually felt that. That seems to be the base of his padding here. And we're going to have another powerbomb. No, another facebuster from Andre the Giant. I don't know how Alberto Del Rio is lifting him. I don't know how this is happening right now. I might actually investigate him for steroids, to be perfectly honest. This is insane. Huge enziguri. That's how you fell a Giant. And the Giant's down. We've got a side headlock from Alberto Del Rio now, twisting the arm around and around and flipping the Giant over and working on that arm over and over again. Even if Del Rio doesn't win this match, you have to wonder about the long-term damage he's doing to the arms of Andre the Giant here. He may not be functional for their match at Extreme Rules. Now throwing him off the turnbuckle, Del Rio to the second rope. Big time moonsault from the second rope right across the Giant. And again, working on the elbow. And Andre the Giant now whipped into the corner. And a big time corner enziguri from Alberto Del Rio. And he's bringing him toward the center of the ring now. And he rolls the big man over for a pin. And he kicks out right after two, does the Giant. And now working from behind on Del Rio. Headbutt to the back. And now the Giant rolls him over. He backs off. Big time elbow drop across the chest of Alberto Del Rio. That's the finisher. 1, 2, 3. Andre the Giant escapes with the match here. But if it ever looked like he was going to lose one-on-one to somebody, it was against Alberto Del Rio here. That is the plan of attack that the Mexican aristocrat has to bring into Extreme Rules. You see that he had the cross-arm breaker applied, just not quite enough prior damage to the arms of Andre the Giant for it to stick at Extreme Rules. You know Alberto Del Rio is going to rethink that. There's that big-time corner enziguri we thought was going to win it there. Didn't quite get enough for the full pin, and then Andre gets up, and he gets a chance to hit his elbow drop into his own pinfall, and that ended the match. There is the leg up in the air there, and that's the 3 count. So now, after 2 matches, Andre the Giant has 2 wins against the champion, and he's offering to shake the hand of Alberto Del Rio. What in the hell? You know Del Rio's going to slap it away. They're 2 of the baddest men in the business right now, and it's clearly said that Dibiase's trying to take over with his corporation. Either way, we're going to see more of this. We're going to see our main event coming right up, guys. See you soon. Main event time. Goldberg, Ted Dibiase, ref signaling for the bell. Goldberg, clothesline, hits the ref. Oh no. The ref is down. We know what these two did last week when there were no disqualifications. Goldberg immediately into a gorilla press, into a gutbuster. And with the ref down, Goldberg running to the outside. He heard the comments of Ted Dibiase on Superstars, and he grabs a chair right to the face of Ted Dibiase. Dibiase is busted open off the bat here. And now Goldberg with a suplex clutch locked in here. Big time vertical suplex to Dibiase on the outside. The ref is up and now counting. The match is indeed underway. The ref is no longer dazed from the Bill Goldberg clothesline, but he wanted to get that chair shot right out of the way. Huge clothesline again, this time hitting Dibiase and not the ref. And now Goldberg, the pump handle set up, twists him around, gutbuster again. Dibiase bleeding. Bill Goldberg heard all about the comments of Ted Dibiase with his $1 million corporation backstage on Superstars this week, and he came out firing. Doesn't matter if the ref gets in the way, he's got a bloody opponent already. And however much Ted Dibiase wants his corporation to take over Smackdown, Bill Goldberg is standing directly in his way and all kinds of fired up to be in the ring with his now arch nemesis, Ted Dibiase. Dibiase with a back suplex, though, despite the probable concussion from that chair right to the skull. We've got blood on the mat inside the ring, and we've got a belly-to-belly side slam from Dibiase to Goldberg. Dibiase opting not to wear his tux into the ring this time. He did take it off at ringside before coming in. Might be better off in the match this time around, but there's Goldberg now reversing out. Spins the leg over, and he's got that Achilles locked in there. That is it, the Achilles lock. Dibiase near the ropes, but he's not reaching up. He's in too much pain. But Goldberg does indeed lose the hold there and has to let go. And now working from a side headlock, here's Goldberg into a snapmare, and then an elbow to the side of the neck of Ted Dibiase. He wants to take him out. He doesn't want there to be a match at Extreme Rules. He just wants him dead. Huge belly-to-belly toss suplex from Bill Goldberg to Ted Dibiase, and he's even more fired up now. And now Dibiase is going to whip him into the corner. Right off the turnbuckle he goes, but Goldberg reversing out with elbows to the face. And he misses a clothesline. Dibiase blocks it, spins around with the arm. And now one more twist of it, and a big kick to the face and a punch to the back of that arm, using the torque to his advantage. And now a side headlock from Dibiase, but Goldberg reversing into a knee to the gut, working from behind the $1 Million Man now. And there's a big back suplex from Goldberg. Goldberg stalking now. Dibiase down. And Dibiase up with a punch to the jaw of Bill Goldberg. Now Dibiase working from behind. And there is going to be a big back-twisting suplex from the $1 Million Man to Bill Goldberg. The match will continue on with an arm lock from Goldberg, twisting the arm around and using it, lifting him up. Big time spin of the arms. Lots of showmanship there, but at the end, the arms are the ones that are going to hurt on Dibiase. And Goldberg now, with a choke applied, gorilla press into a power slam, and Dibiase is down, and Goldberg stalking across the ring. Oh, and he misses the clothesline, and Dibiase into a momentum assisted power slam there, and he misses the chop, and now Goldberg has Dibiase. He's got a suplex clutch. This is going to be it. He lifts him up. He knows what the crowd's looking for. There it is, jackhammer. And he's got the pin. 1, 2. That's 3. Bill Goldberg wins easily after that chair shot to Ted Dibiase. Knocks him out at the beginning of the match. Blood pouring from his head. 2 weeks in a row, Goldberg now with the win. Actually, our last 3 matches all essentially had repeat results. We had Andre the Giant, we had Edge, and we had Goldberg, all victorious. So Dibiase, though, his big man Andre is doing some work. His talk about taking Bill Goldberg down has so far not proven any kind of fruition for his $1 Million corporation. Goldberg with the pin there, and you got to wonder if Dibiase is going to need a little help to bring Goldberg down at Extreme Rules. And now Goldberg offering a handshake. What is with this tonight? Dibiase obviously slaps it away. That's the end of Smackdown, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for the Indie recap. Alright guys, we are fresh out of the arena. Smackdown just went off the air after Goldberg beat Ted Dibiase in a pretty easy match after he got that sneaky chair shot in off the bat. So we're just going to advance through the end of that. That brings us to IWC. We're not quite ready for all that yet, though. We're going to go to WWE.com because we do have some news to just go over. Frustration is indeed building between Alberto Del Rio and Andre the Giant in their upcoming match for the Heavyweight Championship at Extreme Rules. We saw after Andre got another win, despite all the hard work that Alberto Del Rio put into this match, all the work on the arms, he did not do enough to get that cross arm breaker. Andre got up after an enziguri in the corner and hit him with his elbow drop, and when you're as small as Del Rio, you don't get up after that much elbow comes down on you. So there's definitely frustration, but I think that Del Rio is beginning to formulate a plan to beat Andre at Extreme Rules. We'll have to see how this progresses over the next 2 weeks. We've got 2 more episodes of Smackdown before this pay-per-view, so that's at least 3 more matches between these two. And Ted DiBiase's frustration is growing after losing to Goldberg yet again. For whatever reason, Goldberg tried to shake his hand. I think it was kind of an ironic gesture on the part of Bill Goldberg there. But either way, Dibiase not happy that Goldberg resorted to heel tactics to beat him. So this could be an indication that heading into Extreme Rules with that chair shot, Dibiase's going to have to get used to that kind of thing. Well, we'll see. So that's going to finish us off there. I just want to check our current rankings on SmackDown now that we have had some wins and some losses. And Andre is indeed the #1 contender again. That's good. Beating the champion twice should put you there. Guaranteed match regardless. Edge with a huge jump up in the power rankings after his second straight win. He's now number 5. That's very impressive. And then we've got Bret Hart, Sheamus, Diesel, Orton, Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, Big Show, Goldberg jumping up a little bit, Damian Sandow, and Cody Rhodes finishing out the top 15. And for the Intercontinental, Edge is your new #1 contender after his second straight win against Kofi. This is interesting because there still has not been a match announced for Extreme Rules for the Intercontinental Championship. There may not even be a match, but if there were one announced right now, it would no doubt be Edge taking on Damian Sandow. And with his hot streak right now, well, you gotta think he'd do okay. And no really big shakeups in the ladies division, and the tag team, the Primetime Players, slip from their number 3 spot. Edge and Christian move up a lot. If not having a match at all, I guess they're banking that on Edge's own popularity right now, but the #1 contenders are still indeed the $1 Million Corporation. So very quickly, we're going to go now over to IWC and just do our quick little recap of what's going on in the indie world this week. Start off the show with a triple threat match between Sidney Bacabella, Flex Rumble Crunch, and Icarus. For all intents and purposes, this is pretty much the same deal we had with El Guapo Diablo taking on both Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. It's less of a triple threat match and a bit more of a simultaneous handicap match, so hopefully Icarus has it in him to come out on top here, but he does not. The match goes to Flex Rumble Crunch, and I am sure Sidney Bacabella did nothing but yell at little kids to pay him for looking at him. Moving on to our second match of the evening, we're going to have a tag team match. We have the Spectral Envoy, Ultraman is Black, and Frightmare taking on Combatant and Assailant of the Gekido. And we have the Gekido coming out on top. Looks like Assailant got the fall over Ultramantis Black. It's a shame. I want to see UMB start winning. I like him. We've got a rivalry match between Paige and Tamina Snuka going on. One fall here, and Paige wins. And Tamina Snuka, to my knowledge, is the women's champion of the Indies. We'll double check that in a second after we get through the end. In another rivalry match, we know that these two are feuding for the IWC Championship that Cassius Ohno / Chris Hero currently holds. We've got Ohno versus Soldier Ant in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and Soldier Ant comes out on top. I think I like that result a lot. Soldier Ant is currently the champion, the minor champion in the IWC, so we could have a double champion very soon, folks. And the main event of the evening, a submission match between Mark Briscoe and Nick Jackson, and Briscoe comes out on top, winning there. So we're going to advance through this as well. We've got a bit of news from the IWC to check out. Looks like Nick Jackson and Mark Briscoe's match broke down into a brawl before it even started. Had to be separated. Awesomeness. Getting heated in the Indies right there. And we're going to real quick check out our rankings in the Indies. And Soldier Ant, obviously, still the #1 contender. That is a match coming up. That belt will be on the line very soon between those two. For the minor, the WCW United States Championship, Mark Briscoe is actually your #1 contender, feuding with Nick Jackson right now. And after that tag team action this week, you've still got the Devastation Corporation as your #1 contender to the belts held by the Young Bucks, the World Tag Team Championships. But you've got the Swarm. I said Gekido. I meant, Swarm. You've got the Swarm. You've got the Briscoes, and you've got the Colony Extreme Force creeping up on them. And Tamina Snuka is indeed that women's champion, with Paige coming up on her, Emma, Vita Scott, and Eva Marie rounding out your ladies of the IWC this week. More and more people get added to the Indies every week. Keep an eye on the roster, see if anyone that you've ever owned as a CAW created wrestler comes up in there. I know a lot of you are asking me to show you where they are. Let's check out, actually. I'll show you the full standings on the IWC Championship. So, that's our top 5. Soldier Ant, Briscoe, Assailant, and Flex. Then you got Arctic Rescue Ant, Combat Ant, Blaster McMassive, Max Smashmaster, Troy. Troy is a created superstar. Fire Ant, Deviant, Green Ant, Corey Graves, Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn, Orbit Adventure Ant, Missile Assault Ant, Christopher Daniels, Jay Briscoe, Nick and then Matt Jackson, Carpenter Ant, Mr. Respawn, Ultramantis Black, Frightmare, Supernova, there you go, Jordan, Xavier Woods, Icarus, and Sydney Bacabella. I want Icarus to move up a little bit, but that is rounding out our IWC Championship hunt there. We're going to check through on our Edit Superstars list, go by the indies, and just make sure that nobody's momentum is super high. It won't be. There just haven't been enough matches. You know, it's super low. Yeah, Nick Jackson losing 2 matches. But yeah, for the most part, everyone is right around the middle. We've only had 2 weeks of programming now. So that's going to do it for this week, guys. We're going to take our little weekend break, and we will be back for Raw when we come back from said break. And the end of next week, we've got our first pay-per-view. We've got the NXT version of Extreme Rules. So get ready for it, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.